Does my twin flame think of me? Of course they do. No matter what is happening on your twin flame journey, your twin flame is thinking of you. It might be that they're not yet spiritually grown to understand their twin flame relationship, but their heart, their mind, and their soul is going somewhere, taking a journey, thinking of you without being conscious of that, and they're certainly not going to make any contact at that point. It might be that your twin flame and you are separated in that painful stage of twin flame separation, and you're asking, are they thinking of me? Because you're thinking of them. You are always thinking about them. You're thinking, where are they? Who are they with? What are they doing? How are they feeling? How can I contact them? Why are they not in contact with me? And it might be during one of these periods of separation, that intense feeling of loneliness and lack of contact you might assume is happening is actually the reverse. They are thinking about you all the time in the same way that you are. Does my twin flame think of me when we're simply apart for the day? If you've met and you're in 3D, yes, they think about you and the way you think about them, and that will come through in all of the messages you're receiving all of the time, conscious that they're conscious of your thinking. And so that merging of thought happens constantly. So does my twin flame think of me? Yes, absolutely. Are they always going to reach out and contact you? Sometimes not, for various reasons. If you are part of a twin flame relationship where there is a runner and you're wondering if that runner is thinking of you, remember that they are not intentionally ignoring you. You're not possibly picking up the signals you're constantly used to picking up. But you have that deep connection that you share that is unbreakable. If they're running, it's the spiritual version of flight or fight instinct, and they need time to process their own healing, to be ready for the soul connection that is on offer. The twin flame is thinking about you. This runner is thinking about you. They may be surrounded in guilt because they've run. They may be deep in their own journey and healing and conscious of that, and feel that communication with you is not what they're capable of right now. But they absolutely are thinking about you. It's not uncommon that they aren't talking to you or communicating with you. It's not because they're avoiding you. It's because they're working on their own journey. And it means they're not yet ready to have that communication with you. So they're absolutely thinking about you. And it's possibly all they're thinking about in line with their own journey. It's all they're capable of thinking about and focusing on, but not communicating that with you right now. Twin flames think about each other a lot, sometimes constantly. They're more conscious of it at times than others. So the answer to this question is sometimes you think about each other at the same time. Often that's in periods of very high emotion or energy, and you reach out to each other through that telepathic connection that you share. If your twin flame randomly pops into your head, it's quite likely because they've reached out to you, and that can be intentionally or otherwise. Similarly, you can pop into their head because you have done that reaching out telepathically. It doesn't always happen. You're always thinking about your twin flame on some level. You're always in tune emotionally and communicating on some level. But there are times when you're concentrating on other things or doing other things, but that communication never actually stops. So how do you know when your twin flame is thinking of you? Remember that even when your twin flame is thinking about you, it can be a subconscious, quiet thought. It can be something accepting and silent, something not necessarily communicated to you. You will be the same with your twin flame, always subconsciously, constantly thinking about them, but not conscious of that thought or signaling to them that you're thinking about them. So remember, an absence of any sign that their twin is thinking about you doesn't mean that that thought does not exist, that you're not in their mind, in their heart, and in their soul. But there are signs you might receive more overtly that your twin flame is thinking about you. You can just feel their presence. Sometimes it manifests itself as a feeling as if they're next to you or their energy is absolutely inside you. And that might be in a burst of energy you feel or an exhaustion inexplicably. So you're sharing their energy, and that is their thought coming towards you. You might feel a sudden surge of emotion or interest in something that has nothing to do with what you're doing at the moment. You might suddenly have a random thought, and that thought actually originates from your twin flame, not from you. And possibly it's something they're very excited just to tell you about, something new they've learned or they're experiencing. The other thing is the obvious synchronicities, number patterns, and strange coincidences that bring them into your head. And that strange coincidence is actually your twin flame sending you that thought quite deliberately or unconsciously, so strongly thinking about you that you're picking up on their thoughts. So sometimes the signs are more overt, where you actually receive a distinct message from your twin flame. Sometimes that's in dream state, sometimes that's in waking state. But remember, use all those signs as gentle reminders and nothing more. Don't look everywhere for that sign. Don't stress it. Don't force it. It will happen when it needs to happen for you. You're always going to be in their mind in some form. It doesn't really matter how close or how far you are. It doesn't matter how last you've spoken or whether you are in the physical realm or not. You are always on their mind. Sometimes it's very useful to find out what your twin flame is thinking, as this gives you some guidance as to where they are on their journey and how you're working towards union together. And there are a number of ways in which you can start to tune into that clarity and that distinct conversation. First of all, start by focusing on what you'd like them to know. And this can help you bring that clarity to all of your communication. So if you practice sending communication telepathically, if you practice sending those synchronicities, those numbers directly to your twin flame, you harness the energy of your higher self to communicate vibrationally with them, to send that message, practice that. That makes your communication between the two of you clearer. You can get a twin flame reading, and that can help you understand what they're actually directly trying to say to you. And this can be very useful when you are cloudy in your thoughts. Keep a dream journal. Twin flame dream messages often give you a very clear insight into what your mirror soul is saying and what you want to say to them. There's nothing in that dream that's loaded with ego or daily pressures and burdens, so there's clarity inside that dream. The telepathic communication between you is the easiest way to see their true feeling and their true thoughts. And it's very easy to do that when you are very practiced at it. In the early stages, you may think about a mediation between the two of you to clarify, clear out some of the garbage, some of the stuff that hangs down around you, some of the things that get in the way, the daily life that gets in the way of that communication. So there are numerous ways, and obviously meditating yourself on your twin flame and on your journey can really help clarify that conversation. I really care what happens in your twin flame journey. If you'd like some guidance in that, just click the link below.